I like the smell. I like the way. I love little babies.
Maybe smell.
Welcome to Fridays on the Fly, episode 11. I'm Eric.
And I'm Ward. We are creative people with creative projects. Follow our adventures with personal and community projects, including short films, writing, props, and radio drama performances, with movie reviews and plenty of tangents. First things first. Still been thinking about our bug out bag YouTube video, and I definitely want to do it.
No, I completely agree. I like the idea of the video of the bug out bag. But yeah, yours is definitely something that could look actually kind of cool instead of like everyone else's video.
Yeah, and I don't watch YouTube videos.
You've never watched anybody's bug out bag video?
No.
Wow.
Here's the thing, I was looking for a tutorial a number of years ago. In the beginning, I almost died. I was so bored. And so my doctor said, you need to quit watching those YouTube tutorial videos. So I haven't.
I mean, some of them are interesting. They're filmed always the exact same way. And please fast forward this. It doesn't need to be 15 minutes long.
Hi, I'm Bob. This is my living room.
This is pretty much, yes. That's pretty much how it goes.
I bought this bug-out bag in 1988, but it wasn't a bug-out bag. It was a backpack back then.
It's just a JanSport. I just want to say that I did hear my Stallone today. I felt pretty good about it.
You should. It was good.
I felt really good about it.
So I had a interesting idea, and of course it's one that would take a little bit of work. But we have a lot of social media profiles, and we have these banner images across the top. What if we made it interactive? I would draw a picture of us and like an empty lot. Let's say we pick a milestone for people that like the profile or add buildings to this lot. Like maybe our first building is like a shanty. Almost like a virtual world, but it's just a picture of it. Okay. And as we get more subscribers, maybe we add other buildings to the lot and we improve our building. Because I don't think we have the user base to make that effective.
I don't understand what you mean by interactive. Like, just as people start to listen to the site, the banner changes?
Well, we'd have to put that information out there. So maybe in our profile it says, every time we hit...
Wait a minute. Is this you looking to increase yourself to 90%? Is that what this is? You're not doing enough work? You're trying to bump it up another 10%? So yeah, I guess I don't fully understand.
We'd put this banner up here. Empty lot, a very crude picture of just us standing around.
Stick figures.
Yeah, maybe like around our logo on a sign.
Okay.
And so we put in our profile or somewhere on the page, for every 10 likes we get, we're going to add something to this picture. If we get 100 likes, we're going to add a building. So for every milestone, we would say, hey,
gotcha.
We hit 100, we add a building. We hit every 10, we'll add an object. Something like that to make it interactive. I mean, again, we have no user base, so it wouldn't be very effective now, but I think it could potentially pay off because people are like, hey, man, you need to like them so I can see what they do next.
I mean, if it's good, sure. I mean, does anybody else do this?
I don't know. I've never heard anybody do it.
So is this something you've read or something you just came up with?
I just came up with, well, I was looking at our Twitter banner, which is pretty... nothing to it. It's two bugs that look like they're electrocuted.
Right.
Because we're Fridays on the Fly, and we like a few bugs.
By the way, it's Monday.
Oh, yeah, no. Things change. So as I was looking at this banner, I thought, it'd be really neat just to do like a very simple picture of us and a sign. I was trying to think of what I could put on my Instagram page because I've not done anything with it. Oh, maybe I'll take pictures of different advertisements and Photoshop our logo onto it, like billboards or in the store, stuff like that.
Right.
And so then I got this idea of doing this interactive banner page. And I don't know if anybody that's done it, but I've never looked for it.
It sounds like a good idea. It sounds like a really good idea. It's just getting people to look at it first. I have noticed that people have listened to it, and I don't know who's listening to it, because I only listened to it once. And does it show on
Where
the thing?
Where have you seen this?
On the, I think it's SoundCloud?
Yeah, SoundCloud. We've gotten like 10 people.
That's a lot of people to me.
One person retweeted episode 2, I think.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think somewhere in here it shows you the plays.
Yeah, SoundCloud does.
I don't know anybody. No one said anything to me that they've heard it. I have not advertised it other than when you put it onto my Facebook page.
Once we get 8 episodes done and we go to iTunes, that's kind of our critical mass. Now I'm going to start advertising a little bit more.
Okay.
But I feel like a lot of people are going to want it through iTunes. So I feel like I'm not going to really advertise until we hit that mark.
That's probably a good idea. I wonder who's listening, though, because really no one said a word to me. So if you're listening and you know me, say a word to me. Tell me you're listening.
So I've been full of ideas this week. I had another idea for a video, Static Man. And really the idea would be a very crude horror video, and I would CGI static in the place of me, and I'd just be walking around as a giant static person scaring people.
But what you do is just give them that little tiny shock. You're like, when you're running. You shocked me. Yes, I did. It was new carpet. So you go around shocking people.
Well, not even shocking people, but you have this person in another room of the house, and they hear hear static from another room, the TV's on. They go cut it off, and TV comes back on. Like if you're watching this video, I would be just, the ant race you see on TV, static.
Right.
But I looked at how I could create that image, and I can do that pretty easily.
What, the static?
Yeah.
How hard could that be?
Can you do it?
Create the image and do what with it?
Make a video of Static Man.
Could I do it? Sure, I could probably do it with a lot of time. If I could try to get my 20% bumped up, I'll try. Give it a go.
20.5. No, that's too much. I'll give you 20.4.
I'm not so sure about Static Man. I'm not sure that it's horror.
Oh, it could be horror.
So this is what you want to do? Make horror films now?
I've been thinking about Static Man, and then I heard a podcast, 99% Invisible, was talking about kind of the sound of horror. They talked to a guy that scores some horror movies and TV shows.
Right.
One of them did Hannibal. He talked about what sounds he uses that are like prototypical horror sounds. They talked about John Carpenter, Halloween, the screeching sounds. He said that's always a good horror sound. And kind of these sounds are racing to make you get amped up. So that on top of my idea for Static Man.
That seems like it would be hard to make.
I don't think so. I think it'd be really easy.
What does he do? He shocks them?
No, you made that part up. I never said anything about shotgun.
Well, when you saw static, I thought static electricity.
Static electricity man.
He just walks around with a piece of new carpet, touches people.
Yeah, so let's clear that up. Yeah, he's not static electricity man. He's just static man.
Static man. Got it.
So you can create this tension of they go into the room, they cut the TV off.
I'm going to say calling it Static Man is probably the wrong start because it's going to sound like a superhero. Or it's Static Electric Man. So I think you got to call it something other than Static Man.
But you can create great tension. The person goes to the living room, cuts the TV off, they walk back, then they hear it again. Then they hear it in another room. So you can kind of create this thing where they're running into the room.
Oh, they're trying to find where the static is.
And then you go into a dark room and there's Static Man.
What does he do?
I don't know.
He actually shoots you. Static Man guns you down.
This is just the initial idea.
What would Static Man do? Well, I guess, you don't have to see him kill you.
You know what? He could kill people and it could just be a body that's static on the floor. Because I had one thought where maybe Static Man climbs out of the TV. I was like, no, I can't do that because they did that in The Ring. It's the same concept. And
the little girl climbs out.
You just can't do it again.
No, you can't do it again. Static Man. How does he kill people? So you can make it move on, look like static.
Yeah. I would get a feed of static, legitimate ant race static. Right. So I film all my scenes on a green screen and just mime whatever action I need to do.
That seems like a lot of work.
And it's really not that bad. It's the same as, in essence, filming any scene.
Where do I come in here?
You're going to be that scared person running away from Static Man.
I'm going to be the person who gets killed in every room. Why does that woman have a beard? Throw in the kid voice. Don't kill me.
Why is he standing on his knees? Oh, wait, he's playing a child.
No, I'm a midget.
Obviously, Static Man needs to be baked a little longer and refined.
Yeah, definitely. There's something there.
This is how my ideas start. Now, I have this awful idea, and then I just figure out and distill it.
Oh, it's an awful idea.
They all start like that.
It can be fun to do.
Yeah, it'd definitely be short.
Right.
And I've never seen a person comprised of static in any kind of video form. Maybe he's out there, I don't know. Maybe he's not, he will be soon. If his horror video goes well, he can transition into being a superhero, Maybe he has some remorse.
Saves lives?
Yeah.
Saving TVs across the galaxy. Static Man will come in.
Superhero stories are getting darker and grimmer, He has that thing where he was a killer, and now he's feeling remorse, and he wants to help people.
Born of a RCA Victor Television 1942 model.
He went on a rampage after Comcast fired him. He's just really upset.
After it went to color television, he just went crazy.
Static Man cousin, you can do the color blocks you see when there's no signal. His cousin color man.
Yeah, the little thing. He should turn them into static people.
Well, I told you, when he kills people,
but no, they should become more static people with him when he kills more people. Totally use my kids. Kill the kids and then have little static kids. So when you enter a room, there's just more static people.
A lot of static people.
You're surrounded by static people.
We're going places.
It's the static apocalypse.
This could be a great project. Speaking of projects, I do not have any big updates. I did create the pins. I made them out of cardboard. And whenever I finish a project in cardboard, I always remember my previous cardboard project because I always say, I will never use cardboard again.
There's nothing wrong with cardboard.
Yeah, it is. I hate cardboard. If you're doing something flat and the attention to detail on these pins is not as fine as I'd like it to be.
Really?
Yeah.
It looks good to me in the picture you said.
Well, there's kind of a front and back. And because what I didn't have enough cardboard to make a separate front and back piece. I made the one piece, glued the pin on. That looked great. So in the back, I did either 1 or 1.5 inch PVC tube, to put it in the ground.
Right, I saw that.
And so that kind of bumped out a little bit. The back has kind of a peak in it.
Right.
And I had to wrap that in cardboard so it would actually stick to the rest of it. So the back side is not as clean.
Okay.
So what I did to combat that, though, I bought, it's like irrigation pipe, really thin plastic pipe. And I slid it. So I did that around the corners because we talked about the cardboard. You don't want to see the edges. And that makes it look a little bit nicer. So again, you have the whole front and back where the back looks a little worse. But the front looks nice. And the piping really makes it look like it's better than cardboard. They are done. We just need to figure out what message we're going to put on them.
I made the sheets for the mini pins. I just haven't printed them out yet. I need an ink cartridge for my printer, which I'll get tomorrow. 10 pins on a sheet and just going to stick them to popsicle sticks. For
the message on the front, put a link to Google Maps where it links you right to what the center of Reedsville, just because this is their image, their pin, and in essence it's kind of crediting them in a way.
I don't care about crediting them.
That's only fair. It's their pin.
Come on, give me a break.
Yeah. We just had that episode about who owns digital things, and they own that pin.
But everyone knows what that pin is.
I'm not sure they know what it is out of context, though.
Oh, of course they are. It's a big giant pin sticking in the middle of the ground in Walgreens.
I think some people are going to not know it out of context to Google.
Okay, so can we put this in on Wednesday?
Do you need me?
No.
Okay, yeah, we can put it in Wednesday.
So what should it say?
I also like a link to our Facebook page that says, hey, take a picture of your center of town and put it on our Facebook page.
I wanted that to say it on the back of all of the little pins. That way they knew. And I've decided that I'm just going to stick it up there without asking.
May God be with you.
But every time Walgreens closes, I'll be there 10 minutes later.
When do you want me to get you the pins?
I can go swing by your house. It's not like it's... I mean, unless you have something going on Wednesday.
I got a T-ball game, but worst comes worst, I could just put them out back.
You're a little big for T-ball? Yeah,
it's not about age, it's about skill level, and I'm right. I mean, all I want is what is the center of your town? Take a pin and show us.
If they say no, I have no options then.
Wait until they close and put that pin in there.
Why did I just cut out the middleman there and wait till they close and then hammer the pin in there?
That works too. Do you think on the pin we need to put on there that We Arts has put this up and We Arts will remove it in 3 days just so people don't think it's trash, it's going to be left there indefinitely?
I could post a note to the door of Walgreens.
As long as you cut out letters from the magazines.
We'll be back in 3 days. Don't touch the sign.
Other than working on the podcast, I think that's pretty much all I've done.
My project is vacation. I'm almost packed. That's
Good project. Another video idea. I get these emails from different like video and commercial type things for like, hey, do you want to make a commercial for whatever? And yeah, I've done a couple and my experience has not been good. And by that, I mean, I didn't win. But I got one today and usually I ignore them. But this one was for Shell, the gas company. They want you to use how great Shell gas is and somehow incorporate a motorbike or motorcycle into it. And I had a great idea right off the bat. Before I've tried to make them really good and really nice, I thought into it, I'm like, I'm never doing that again. I always use the first idea that pops in my head. If I could get someone with a motorbike, great. If not, I'll just get someone with a bicycle.
I've got a yellow one in the basement.
Motorbike, motorcycle, moped. Perfect. Though I'm not sure it could go slow enough for what I'm trying to do. I don't know.
I'm sure it could.
So I want somebody on a motorbike, and he's doing whatever, getting ready to take off, and this other guy standing next to him, and he sees he's got a motorbike. The second guy does not have a bike, but he mimes that he does. So he's on the bike, he's in the handles, he's starting it up, kind of looks at the guy and is like, we're going to race. So they race the guy on the motorbike and the guy without a bike, and just really silly, really ridiculous. The guy on the motorbike's going to win, obviously, because he's on a motorbike. I'm just going to give him that, because I think it could be silly enough to where people would like it. And I doubt they'd use it. But it'd be something I wouldn't want to put much time into, but just something really ridiculous.
Would you film it at a Shell gas station? Can you do that?
It depends how close you are to the gas station. I mean,
film it at the gas station.
Well, it's private property if you're right on the gas station.
So what?
Well, you can't just film it.
How many people pull out their phones and just record things everywhere?
Well, that happens, but it depends.
Wouldn't bother me.
Actually, my first idea, though, was not actually a motorcycle, but a bicycle. So when that guy's kind of pulling away and winning with the guy that is just a psychopath, He looks back, kind of gloat, and then he hits a tree and wrecks. That, YouTube will love that.
What does that have to do with Shell gasoline, though? What other parameters were they looking for?
I can't remember. I just know that it was Shell gas.
And they wanted a motorcycle.
Great, and they want to incorporate like a moped or motorcycle into it. Perfect idea. That actually kind of leads me into our discussion for tonight. Whenever I look at a prompt or somebody asks me to make something, I always go with my first idea. And I know people always say, you should never use your first idea. Let it simmer. Let it figure out. I always use my first idea instantly. If I don't have an idea instantly, I just don't do it. So speaking of the first idea, our main topic of discussion tonight, so I want to talk about firsts. First ideas, first experiences, first jobs, first cars.
Let's go with the first job. What was your first job?
Exactly what I was thinking, first job.
All right, go ahead.
Well, I don't really consider working for my family or my dad, real work.
Okay, well,
So-
I'll leave that out too because I think we had the same experience. I worked in my dad's shop.
So my first job, I was a cashier. I did not have any cashiering experience.
I don't think you really need to.
It is an electronic machine. And so the first day, they were going to train me. And they had me come in on a Friday. Apparently, they had a lot of people absent. So my training was, okay, this is the cash register. Do this, 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 this. When this happens, push this. All right, that's it. That's done. Are you good? What? Are you going to be here to help me? No, we're really busy. I can't help you. I don't know what I'm doing.
Wait. What kind of place was it? Fast food?
No, it wasn't quite fine dining. Close to it. I mean, it's finer than Applebee's or a place like that.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it is a nice place.
So it's not like you're getting a flow of customers, though. You're like pretty much probably the only one bringing out people.
There's only one cashier, yeah. But it helps if you know how to use the machine.
Yeah, definitely helps if you know how to use the machine.
So the awesome thing about this machine is if you key something in wrong, it buzzes. Very loud, very obnoxious. It's pretty much buzzing all night long. That was the training they gave me. The person gave me no training.
How long did you have the job?
I had it all through the summer.
Did you go back the next year?
I'll get to that in a minute. So that night, I figured it out. I don't even know how. I figured it out. There's only 6 waitresses. 4 of them were in line trying to get me to ring up a ticket. And can you go any quicker? I was like, nope.
Not unless you know how to use this.
So yeah, I figured it out. They gave me no training. I figured it out.
How hard could it have been? I mean, you're not an idiot.
It's true. I figured it out, so I made it.
Right.
So midway through the summer, they're like, well, when you go back to school, we need a replacement. But we don't want just one replacement. So they had me train 3 replacements for the second half of the summer. So what that meant was I didn't do anything. My replacements did everything. I just did whatever I wanted to.
Made sure that they did what they were supposed to do.
Yeah, I just walked around doing whatever.
Wow.
Great job. If they had a problem, I'd help them.
Wow. So your first job really wasn't crappy.
It wasn't that bad, no.
No, that doesn't sound so bad.
I got free food on Sundays.
So this is the summer, so you're probably in high school.
I was in college.
Oh, you were in college.
Yeah.
Your parents didn't make you get a job in high school?
Well, I worked for my dad, really crappy jobs.
Yeah, so did I, but I still had to go get a job.
$2 an hour.
Wow. What did you do for your dad?
Did a lot of bush hogging. After I stopped doing that, he got an enclosed cab tractor. Like Yellow Jackets. If you're running Yellow Jackets, turn the tractor off and run.
Yeah.
Had to do that a few times.
Wow.
And when you hit a Yellow Jacket nest. So
I didn't know they had nests in the ground until I moved here.
Yeah,
I got stung quite a bit after I went over one.
And then one time, I was on the younger side. I don't know why. There were a lot of broken cinder blocks in a field. A lot of them. I got to dig them up. Great job. And my dad did a lot of farm work type stuff. So
right.
All that kind of stuff.
See, I assumed your dad owned a shop. I don't know why. You didn't work in the shop?
No, by the time I was old enough to work in the shop, he kind of transitioned out of that.
Yeah, that's where I started my dad's shop, working on cars. But my first real job, I was in high school. It was part of the Big Sisters program, strangely enough.
Okay.
I don't know how I got approached by this woman. I started working for this company, probably one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world. I would spend half of my day at school and then take the train down into the city in Philadelphia, work in the office for the other half of the day, copying and whatever else they needed me to do in the legal department of this pharmaceutical company.
So you weren't a distributor?
No.
Well, I was distributing with the kids during school, and then I came back and refilled.
Nope. It wasn't around any drugs, just in the legal department.
So how was that? Was that a pretty decent job?
Yeah, it was actually really nice. In the neighborhood that I grew up in, everybody pretty much blue collar. So this kind of environment, I didn't know anything about it. Everybody I knew, was in a union. They were a truck driver. They, removed asbestos or something like that. Yeah, it was completely different. I never thought that I would get a job like that, and B, that you could really sit in a building all day and be pretty comfortable. Yeah, it was really nice.
How long did that one last?
I worked there a couple of years. Just because I had the grades and I had all the classes, so they were just like, oh yeah, you can go work half a day, and and that counts as part of your credits. So and I don't really have a bad experience. I hear other people talk about their first jobs. Like I've had some crappy jobs between then. I worked in like a shoe store, putting shoes on old women's feet. Picture that.
You were Al Bundy, living the dream.
Oh my gosh, I heard that so much. I worked at Easy Spirit. They have Easy Spirit here. Yes,
that's low even for a shoe salesman.
That's not low. They were $100 for a pair of shoes. They were extremely expensive shoes. They were for if you had bad feet, you'd have to literally put the shoes on the people's feet. And more than once I heard, can you just push my bunion in on the side over there? Yeah.
See, if I was on shoes, I want to look at Foot Locker because they have the cool shirts with the stripes.
No, there's nothing cool about working at any shoe store. Because I worked in a shoe store after that, and it was not any cooler.
Don't you get discounts on shoes?
Yeah, but you're an Easy Spirit.
Well, yeah, if you work for Easy Spirit, I get that.
I'm 17 working at Easy Spirit. And I delivered pizza. at the time, gas was really cheap. You were actually making, I felt like I was making decent money in high school, because at high school, I would work after school at the pharmaceutical company, and then I would come home and go deliver a pizza at night. My parents, I don't know why they would let me have that many jobs or be out till 1 o'clock in the morning delivering pizza in the ghetto, but there I was. Those were crappy jobs. And then when you're not delivering pizza, you're like folding pizza boxes. What's the worst job you've had? Every job past that cashier job. Have you had a crappy job? Because I think everybody should have a crappy job.
I mean, other than stuff I've done for my dad, which is monotonous labor type jobs.
And something you're not going to get paid well for because it's your dad. Yeah.
Paid it all. I really can't say I've had that bad of a job. All my jobs have given me a certain degree of freedom.
That's weird. You didn't have like your first job other than working with your dad until college.
I was lazy.
So strange. Well, I had no choice. It was, oh, you want a car? Here's the paper. You should look for a job. You want insurance? You should find a second job.
My brother had a job through high school, but I never did that. I guess I wouldn't have had time, because in high school's all day. I played sports till 6 o'clock.
I did the same thing, but I managed to get sports in there too.
You were busy then.
Yeah.
My first office, I had an office in high school.
What did you do in there? Work with a Penske file? I'm sorry, that's a Seinfeld reference.
When I went to a military high school, I don't know why, but I got to discipline and counsel kids and do all this stuff that I probably shouldn't be doing. All right, come on, let's talk about why you're such a screw up. That was what we do.
See, I pictured two things.
One, are you picturing Taps, the movie where the kids take over and with guns?
No, I'm picturing...
It wasn't like that.
I'm picturing more, it's like, there's two kinds of people that go there. Disciplinary cases and local kids.
Yeah.
And is that...
Spot on.
Spot on, wow.
Oh, we had a few kids where...
Which one were you?
I was the disciplinarian. But, we had a few kids where they were in this school because they either went to juvenile hall or they went to military school.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you stay overnight, or did you go
I did
home?
not.
You did stay.
I got to go
okay.
So some kids did. 75 to 80% of the kids boarded. And then the rest of them were just day students. They go in the morning and leave in the afternoon, which...
And I picture more of the disciplinary kids, the white-collar rich kid who's a disciplinary problem.
Yes, we had a famous race car driver, NASCAR driver. His kid went there for a while.
Really?
Huge problem. It was really just because his parents didn't give enough attention. Yeah. I mean, we had some not famous, but famous in their acts. Like, one kid got kicked out because he was stealing money from a church. He'd been stealing mail from the school and stealing money and speakers from the church, and they caught him and he left.
Wow.
For months, the school had been wondering why they weren't getting any mail. And that was a federal offense to steal mail. So I don't know what happened to him, but he didn't stay around once they figured out what had happened. Because you have some kids that they don't want to be there anymore, and they know that, hey, if I steal, if I do this,
right, I'll get out. Yeah.
So they did.
So did you ever get any scuffles with these kids? Because these seem like the kids who would be boarded. They would be there because who wants that kind of kid at home?
I mean, no real fights.
Two separate groups, like near locals and they're rich.
Only in the sense that since this is a military school, the school is a battalion. That's divided into companies, and then each company into platoons. So the day students were their own company. There's no point to integrate them with the boarding students because they had different schedules and did different things. So they're kind of their own group. Yeah, I didn't really get any fights. I mean, I know I had one. I was a small kid, 5 feet tall, 50 pounds, up until I was a senior in high school. So I know as an 8th grader, I had one big kid try to bully me and push me around. And so I just pushed him back, and he's like, oh, okay, never mind.
Turns out he's going to fight for himself. I don't want any part of that.
Yeah. Pretty much it. I had my own office.
Where you discipline children. That sounds wrong. Wow.
I got to hold team leader meetings in there because I was pretty high ranked, so I had a bunch of people under me. So we'd hold meetings, and we'd talk about what we need to do and this and that. And
so you're actually ranked. You have ranks.
I was a captain.
Wow. Holy crap.
I was a lot of ranks.
Were any kids ever generals?
The one kid in charge of everybody started the year as a major. In essence, he's my superior officer. I was a company commander, so I started as a first lieutenant, ended as a major. I had 2 platoons, and in each platoon was 20 kids.
The idea of this that you would come out and join the military? Any way at all associated with the military?
I don't know if this is still the case, but a lot of postgraduates that wanted to play football, wanted to play basketball, wanted to go to the NBA that didn't have the grades, didn't have the SAT scores. When I was there, we had some of the top prospects in the country playing ball for us. And then they'd go on, a bunch of them went on to the NBA, a bunch of them went to the, ACC, big schools.
Why did they send them there, though? Because the school would just pass them through?
College prep school, in essence. They didn't just pass them through. That was the thing. I mean, they made them work for it. They made them take SAT classes. When you can't go out and socialize at night, you have to study. So.
Yeah. I don't know that I would have made it there.
My mom sent me there for education, for grades, and it definitely helped me. I know that if I'd gone to a public school, I probably would have been a B or C student. When I started, and I wanted to get promoted, I wanted to be a sergeant. And they're like, oh, if you make good grades, do what you're supposed to, you get to be a sergeant. So I worked hard to make good grades, and I got to be a sergeant.
I actually like the idea of that. And this was just high school?
8th grade through 12th grade. So that was my first high school experience. It's the only high school I ever went to. Never had a second high school.
Yeah, me either. My high school was a junior high. And when I was in 7th grade, which was the lowest class, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade was the junior high, they decided they were going to make it into a high school. So they got rid of 7th grade, put in 10th grade. So when I was in 8th grade, I was the lower classman again. Then they took away 8th grade, put in 11th grade, and 12th grade, I was in 9th grade, the lower classman again. Then they took away 9th grade, I went into 10th grade, and I was the lower classman again in a city where there was such a thing as a jump day. So on every Friday, the upperclassmen would wait for you outside and beat you up when you came out of school. Jump day.
So you loved school like that?
Yeah, it was a good time. They would wait for the lower classmen and beat them up.
And so you got to be the lower classman, what, 3 or 4 years in a row?
4 years in a row. Took a couple beatings.
So I'm guessing you aren't wishing you could go back to high school.
No, no, definitely not. I'm kind of wishing I went to your high school.
But you said you played some sports in high school. What'd you play?
Baseball, football. Tried basketball, was only okay at it. But
Were you good at football and baseball?
Baseball, yeah. Football, half and half. But yeah, baseball. Baseball was my sport. How about you?
I attempted to play basketball and baseball. No good at either of them. And then I did cross country, which was not the best at that, but it's kind of hard to be bad at cross country. If you can run, you're doing okay. Then I got on the wrestling team, and I was terrible. But I kept at it. I might have started as a junior. Yeah. On all my sports, I started so late that I knew nothing. So I guess I started my junior year. My senior year, somehow I got to be a starter because there's just nobody in my weight class.
Chihuahuas?
But I started off the season, it was bad. I know my record was 3-11 halfway through. But I finished the season 12-12.
Wow.
And really part of that was just, I never wrestled before, so I really didn't know what I was doing. So I continually got better. If you look at my record, at 12-12, that's not that great. But if you take out that first half, I was like 9-3. I wish I'd started as a freshman because I could have been pretty good.
Your parents didn't put you in ball when you were a kid?
I played some baseball, soccer, and basketball like a young kid, but I wasn't good at them then.
No, baseball. I mean, we started playing baseball the second we could learn to throw. We were 3-4 years old. We were playing baseball. I remember moving to pitching baseball when I was 4. Soccer, you don't even think about playing soccer. Baseball was it. What did you try to play in baseball?
Left fielder, of course.
What could be worse? It could be right field.
Wow. Yeah, I tried baseball for a number of years. And I think I played like 6th and 7th grade. And I was like right field, left field. I was not good. Yeah, I tried JV. I just wasn't any good. And I was like, you know what? Time to hang it up. I
tried tennis once. Hurt my knee. Knee popped out of place. It was awesome.
Sounds like it.
It was just for the girls. I was like, you know what? Pretty girls play tennis. Let's go play tennis. One time I'm playing with this really pretty girl, practice. I'm like, go to hit it back, and my kneecap pops out of place, and I hit the ground like, screaming in pain. I played, so many sports up to this: hockey, football, baseball. It doesn't matter, all of it. Never really got hurt. Play tennis, I get hurt.
I did weightlifting. I was on the weightlifting team.
You just got to lift weights.
I'm not saying I was good, but when I went to the state meet, tons of people there. And I lift, and someone's like, hey, have you looked at the stats? I don't even know what they called it. Yeah. Like, no, why? Oh, you're at the top. Because you have the deadlift, squat, and bench press. And for the deadlift and squat, for a while I was top in my weight class. I think I deadlifted like 405, and I squatted 275, which I only weighed 130. So
that's a lot of weight.
I'm probably not that strong now as I was then.
You don't think? I don't think it'd take you very long to get back to that. If you could have did it then.
That was always something that just really blew my mind because I didn't know I was good. I just, just something
as much as I could.
Yeah. I mean, I had no idea what I was doing, and coach was like, what do you think you want to lift? I was like, I don't know. Let's just throw something on there. It's like, all right, I'll come up with something. And
rich kid school. You had things like lacrosse. Always wanted to play lacrosse. It's like, man, that'd be cool. We don't have anything like lacrosse. Nothing.
We had lacrosse.
We didn't have we might have cross country. I don't know. Nobody ever talked about it if we had a cross-country team. Everybody talked about the basketball team because we had some players go on to play NBA.
First project.
First project, what do you mean?
The first project where, you built something and thought, you know what, I can make stuff. Because some people can make things, some people can't. And I guess my first one, so I had a Nissan pickup truck. I had drawn up my initials in this kind of weird style that regrettably now looks like Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
So I had the steering wheel, and I took spray foam, fiberglass, and I 3D sculpted this picture of my initials into the horn button. I mean, it looks kind of crummy looking now, but it looked kind of cool for the time. And
right.
That's kind of like my first project where I'm like, you know what? I can pretty much make whatever I want to. And actually, I'll take it back to another first. The first time I considered myself an artist. In 7th grade, the school I was in, it ended at 7th grade. So you had 7th grade graduation and all that stuff. And they had superlatives. And I got best artist. And I got a little plaque and award. I still have that because it's the first time I consider myself an artist. I just drew stuff. And for somebody else to say, you're an artist. There were a lot of people I consider to be very good artists in my class. And for me to get it, I wasn't expecting it. So I got that award, and that's when I first considered myself an artist, which I feel kind of projected me in a certain way to where I thought about myself and what I did differently. And then I did this project with the steering wheel, and I thought, you know what, I can make whatever I want to. Opened my eyes and opened opportunities for me.
I'm trying to think of a first project. I mean, I had the same experience at school where I did a lot of art. I drew constantly, and I was in that group. That was my main group of people. Played strange music and, But as far as a project, I can't think of anything project-like that. I'm not good at building things. I know I'm not good at any type of woodworking. I can tell you that right now. I've tried and I've wanted to be, but I'm not good at it. I don't understand how things should go together. Cars, got it. I could take a car apart, put it back together, no problem. So I guess that was probably my first project because high school was my car, which was my first car. My 1970 Nova was my first project. And I actually used it as my senior project. I had a class that was just based on a senior project. You would come there, talk about your project with a very small group. It was a very small class, maybe 10 people. The idea was you had a project, it could have been anything. You come there every week, talk about your project, work on your project, take photos of it. I chose my Nova because A, I had access to a shop, and B, I really thought my Nova was cool. That was probably my first real project. There's a couple cars after that. I can't build things like you. It's in my mind and it's in my heart to do it, but especially when it comes to wood, I am awful.
Why is that? I mean, is it just
I don't know.
Just the concept, or just you
want
to move too fast, or
I will build something, and maybe it's the materials that I use, but I'll build my workbenches out there. They're not fantastic. I mean, if you take a good hard look at them, thank goodness that there's this company that makes these metal corners where you're just putting 2x4s in them and screwing them in. Because if I had to just build something without those metal corners that they give you, it would be all shaky and rickety constantly. And I never knew how to make it stable. Could never understand it. And I'm sure now I could probably do a little bit better of a job, but I really don't think it would come out that great. Again, I've watched a ton of shows. I've seen Norm Abrams, I've seen the new Yankee Workshop many times. It doesn't fit with me. So that has never worked for me. And clearly lawn care is not my strength. I was thinking about that today. I was mowing the lawn. I was like, I suck at keeping things green. Other than the weeds that fill my yard.
So, I'm with you on that. I hate yard work.
Yeah.
I hate it.
But everything for me is just more writing stuff, drawing stuff. That's the kind of more project that I lean to.
As far as cars, I know my first car project was my Nissan truck. And
was that your first car?
No, my first car was an 89 Jeep Cherokee Laredo.
You've mentioned that before, and I got to tell you, it's not a sweet first car, but it is a sweet car.
If I was into, lifted type vehicles,
yeah.
I was into the lowered vehicles, so it didn't quite work for me.
Was it 4-wheel drive?
Yeah.
I've always wanted to lower a Jeep Cherokee, but I've never had one that's 2-wheel drive.
They don't make many of those.
But I think it would be fantastic. Slam it to the ground. Yeah, it's something you don't see every day.
But yeah, I had a Nissan truck, and so I had one, and I acquired another one that was run down. So I had this parts truck, and I started taking that apart and selling parts. What kind of blew my mind is I started getting these people messaging me saying, hey, I see you're selling this part. Did you take it off the truck? Well, how'd you do it? I've been trying to take this part off my truck for weeks. So I became kind of this guy on this forum that, talk to Ward. He knows how to take them apart. He can help you. Like, if you need to buy a part, he's got the parts. And
right.
So it's kind of this business. How can you look at the cigarette lighter for 2 weeks and not know how to take it out?
I don't understand. But it's like wood with me. I I could see how you do it. I just can't make it happen. But a car, man, I don't understand how people, that boggles my mind. But people don't work on cars like we do. I talk to people at church all the time. And they're like, oh yeah, I need new brakes. I've needed them for months. Really? Why don't you just put them on? Brakes, man. Take you half an hour to an hour in your driveway. You're done.
When I first started taking it apart, I didn't know how to take it apart, but I figured, hey, if I keep taking screws out, eventually it's going to come apart. Right. And guess what? It did.
Right. Either that's going to come out or something else is going to come out. But something's coming out when I take these screws off.
Exactly. So that made me think about, I've done some writing. I've put it on here, and I've said I'm not very confident in my writing. And this is why. In college, I took a writing class. I think it was required. And the teacher said, yeah, I've never had anybody not make an A in my class.
Here's your C.
Until me. I worked decently hard. I mean, college was a bit of an adjustment to high school, and I could have done much better. So that kind of scarred me to where I'm like, well, obviously I'm not a good writer because I'm the first person this teacher's ever had that didn't get an A.
What was her criticism other than your writing sucks?
Yeah, that pretty much was it.
She didn't give you any criticism like, oh, you do this too much, or you don't do this, or maybe you shouldn't start every sentence with and.
Yo, I'm saying. I can't even remember. I know a lot of it was kind of flow and, if you're like, oh, it doesn't flow well, I need a little bit more concrete than that. At this point in life, I can see the criticisms. I guess writing for somebody else, writing for yourself is different. And, to a degree, the teacher was right. I don't know. I guess I just never had anybody that kind of really tapped into what I needed to know or hear to make myself better. And I guess somehow I did it myself. So the moral of the story is, don't listen to anybody else. Just do what you want to do.
Wait a minute. That's not a good advice. That person's going to give you a grade.
I went to school for architecture. I also had a teacher tell me I'll never make it as an architect.
Wow.
Yeah.
And here I am today. Did you send that teacher something?
No, I didn't.
Ward Lester, architect. See that? And then she'll send you back going, who are you?
It's funny, but I look back at it, and they're not entirely wrong. I didn't really apply myself in college. I mean, in high school, there's a level of work. In college, for me, is a much different level of work. I know I was in a literature class, and we were reading a book a week, 600-page books in a week. That's pretty quick. I wasn't used to all that.
So do you have any of your writing from when you were in college?
No. I'm probably, well, I take that back. I may have it, but it's probably all on floppy disks because that was what we had back then.
Who's going to read that?
Yeah.
Wait, are you at floppy disk in college?
Yeah.
What years were you in college?
01 to 05. So it was right on the cusp of when flash drives were coming out, but it wasn't really ubiquitous. I remember I had a computer in college that had the zip disk, that's supposed to be the new floppy. And
right. That lasted about a year.
Yeah. See, I'd love to go back and read some of that stuff just to see how bad it is because I'm sure it's fairly terrible.
Do you remember the first girl you ever kissed?
Yeah.
Or guy? I mean, we're no judgment here.
Well, that's very easy to remember because I've only kissed one girl.
Really?
Really.
Well, your high school was all boys, right?
Well, there were a few girls, but it's a military school. The selection is very narrow.
There were some tough broads.
You got a better beard than me.
There's one person that beat you in the weightlifting competition. It's Margaret. So you met Jennifer in college?
I did.
Wow.
It's not hard to imagine that I was a very shy kid.
I guess I never thought about you being a shy kid.
Yeah,
I guess you're kind of a shy adult, too.
I am a shy adult. I would say, how can you not imagine me as a shy kid? I'm a shy adult.
Yeah.
It's not a stretch.
You know what? I never thought of you as shy. I just thought of you as strange.
That applies too.
That makes sense.
I get that a lot.
It's Strange Ward. What's Strange Ward doing over there? That's how I always thought of you at church. He's not quiet. He's just strange. I
have a great first on that.
Okay.
Our first perceptions of each other.
Oh. My first perception is you came to church that we were at the time, the church that you're still at, is not really a church that I see young couples going to. When you guys came in, I was there because I had 3 kids, and it's where my oldest went to preschool. So we just decided to go there, and that way we get to know the people, and it wouldn't be a strange place for him to go to. So but when you guys came, I thought, A, they're someone's relative, or B, they're lost. Why are they here? Because you didn't have any kids, and you're at a church that I would say that the median age at that church is probably above 60.
And especially at that time, and there were no young couples at that time. Very few. I mean, after we were there, a few came in, but at the time, there were nobody.
Not many. Surprising to see. So I guess my first impression of you was Jennifer was like sweet as pie. Like she would talk to you in a second, and like
she makes me seem less strange.
Yes, she definitely seems you. You know what? I would disagree with that. I think she makes you seem more strange because of how normal she is. Yes, right. It's completely comparative. It's like, so you talk to her and she's pleasant, like outgoing, and like this super sweet person, and you're like, hey. And your style is atypical. And you're definitely just really quiet. You think, okay, he's a strange dude. So then I get to know you a little bit more and then confirm that he's a strange dude. Maybe the first time we ever really spoke. I mean, other than hey, morning, stuff like you normally say at church. It was like, hey, you want to be in a video? It was like, a video,
A tasteful video.
I'm not sure that you mentioned tasteful video at the time. But yeah, my first impression was there's this really weird dude married to this woman, this
nice
girl.
Person.
This.
What did she do wrong in life?
So yeah, that was my first impression. It's just that, not that you were shy, but more towards the strange. As I got to know you more, that even solidified it even more. Because you really wouldn't say much, but the things you did say were completely off color and strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty fair.
So what was your first impression of me?
I just remember seeing this guy with like 3 kids and a diaper bag as big as he is. And, I didn't have any nephews or anything. So little kids, you had little kids. Little kids were scary to me. So I'm thinking, what is he doing? Why is he this poor man, why does he have this many kids?
What year did you start going there, do you know?
We moved to Reidsville, 2007. Could have been early 2008 to mid 2008.
Yeah, that's about right. It's 2008. I had William was just born. Kate was a year and a half, and Jack would have been about three. So yeah, 3 very small kids.
That was pretty much. I just marveled at why is he even out of the house with 3 kids? I would just stay home,
never leave.
And now, even though I've had a kid, I've had a baby. Now he's so far from that. Babies scare me. Like, you want to hold our baby? No.
Really?
I'm scared of babies.
Oh man, I'll hold a baby in a second.
I was scared of babies before I had one, and now that I've had one and he's out of it, I feel like I don't even know what to do with a baby. I don't know how I handled it.
That's strange.
Somehow I did.
Did you change many of his diapers, or was it mostly Jen?
It was mostly me.
Really?
Yeah. I think we had him for Jennifer. If you're listening, we can interpret this later. But I'm pretty sure for the first week and a half, she didn't even change the diaper.
Oh, there's nothing that bad in the first week and a half.
Yeah, it's like the black oil, like the X-Files stuff.
It doesn't smell.
That's true. Yeah. But yeah, I would easily say I changed the most diapers.
Jennifer's going to hear this and be like, what? Lost your mind. So probably for the first week, she probably was just on bed rest or something, And
yeah, even after that, though, I changed a bunch of diapers. I mean, I know I did a fine job with him, but I don't really remember it, and I'd be scared to hold a baby. I mean, I know they're not really as fragile as you think they are. Right. But
I've dropped them all.
Holding somebody's
they're not as fragile as you think they are.
Holding a baby is a big responsibility, and if I don't need to take on responsibility, something like that,
I love holding a baby. I like the smell. I like the way I love little babies.
Baby smell.
Yeah, it would smell like lotion and vomit. It's fantastic. I don't know what it is, but man, I love holding babies. Don't you miss holding them? Like when you smell like holding them? No. I don't miss being up at 3 o'clock in the morning, but I do miss holding them and walking them around. I mean, I'd walk them around forever until they went to sleep.
I would never wake up. I'd like, Jennifer to get mad at me for not waking up. I can't help it. I was like, if you want me up, just kick me. She's like, well, I did, and you just roll over. It's like, all right, you have to kick me until I get out of bed. And then she did that, and I'd get up. I didn't care about getting up.
Man, I'd hear the first little cry, and I'd be up to the right there, So that was your first impression. So I don't remember after that how we got together. I was trying to think if it was a church production, or was it like, you're creepy, you want to be in a video?
Our first interaction was not me asking you to be in a tasteful video. The first thing we did, I think it was a church production, a skit or something. Is Egypt, the Egypt set.
What were you in that?
I was a security guard.
We didn't do anything before that? That seems like right at the end of my time there. Oh, no, maybe it wasn't.
We only did a couple skits before I think you left. I don't know when our first video was. I'd be curious to track that back now.
I can't think of the first video we did together.
We did videos before we did that script, right?
I have no idea. I know we did the office thing, but I don't think I was going to go to church there then.
No, you weren't in church there, no.
Yeah. I was trying to think if there was a video before that.
That series of church videos, I just got my camera. Yeah, I think they were some of the first videos I did.
We did do the Abe Zanarkin thing?
That was after that.
Feels longer than that. So I wasn't even going to church there when we did the first video. So those are first impressions. Wow.
And then we did that script, and I feel like we kind of became life partners in a way.
Yeah, well, then the Christmas thing, man. I liked the Christmas thing. I wish we could have done it differently. I wish we would have had more time to do it.
Yes.
I think that it could have come out a lot better. I think we would have come out of the end of it a lot better, too.
I don't look back at that as a bad experience, do you?
I look at it as it could have messed up our friendship, and I think it did for a little while. And that totally wasn't worth it to me. It's a hard thing to do. Write that thing in a very short amount of time. As much as we're the same, we're different. We like a lot of the same things. We watch a lot of the same things, but definitely a different sense of humor. If I had to do it again, I wouldn't do it again. Really? I was asked to do it again, and I did not do it again. It's not worth it.
I wouldn't do it again just because I've done it once, and that was awesome. That's great. Yeah. Don't need to do it again, but I'd do it again. I feel like now I think I can have a better handle on it.
I'd want to start a year ahead of time.
I would not want to work on it for that long.
I'd want to refine the writing.
What you need to spend on it and what I would want to spend on it are two different things, and it needs a lot more than I'd want to put into it. We toiled on that for a long time. And I think part of that was that we just have very different styles. I work a bit quicker than you.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
I think I wrote the entire thing in like a couple of weeks?
Yeah, and I like it to just occur naturally, like think about it and go, that's a really good idea, or we should do that, or it's like when I'm vacuuming or something, and then it starts to hit me, and not sit down and actually write it. So we definitely work in different ways.
Oh yeah,
you're definitely like, let's get this done right now, and that's a great thing. But once you write it, you're pretty much, I'm going to stick with, this is what we're sticking with, and that doesn't work for me. After we read it, we could come up with better ideas. We can work off of your script, and you hate that.
To a degree, we've done that a number of times to where I'm more open to that.
The thing is, having your work edited. I don't like having the things that I've written down edited, and I don't think you do either.
I think we were two people that never worked together or never worked with anybody. We kind of did our own things. A big part of that was just learning how each other works. I think if we were to do something like that again, it'd go a lot smoother. But again, we've done it and we know what to expect. And
you writing a first draft is the best way for us to handle any project like that. But then after that, you need to be open to, we need to change it a little, and I probably need to be open to, maybe we should stick to the script a little more.
It's one of those things that we really didn't have any predefined roles. We kind of jumped into it head first. We didn't know where we were going, and we didn't really know which way was up.
I don't want to do it again.
I like the idea of doing it again, but I wouldn't want to do it again.
No. I want to write something completely different. I don't care. I don't want to do a Christmas thing again. And if I did a Christmas thing again, I'd want to do the exact same thing, but just rewrite it. Wait a minute, did we see this? No.
That's okay. My church, we do like the same thing every other year. So.
I know. I've been there. I went there, remember?
I love their creativity.
I can only see Carson get crucified so many times.
Saddle up. We're both into movies. Every conversation we have steers into movies.
Right.
I remember in college, I liked movies. I didn't love movies. I liked them. And I remember hearing this guy, Jamie, talking about Gangs of New York. It's not a great movie. It's okay. No. But I remember hearing him dissect it and talking about the cinematography and the writing and kind of picking it all apart. And I thought, wow, I wish I could talk about a movie like that. Yeah, that movie was nice. That movie is not nice. Kind of put me on this journey where I realized, I really like movies and I want to know how they tick. Which at this point I can consider myself a movie connoisseur, that I've seen more movies than probably 99% of people.
Oh, definitely. And when we talk about movies, I feel like that guy. That's a really good movie. Yeah, I still feel like that guy. Because I am not into the technical aspect of a movie. I am more into did it reach me on a different level than other than me watching it and going, yeah, that was a good movie. I care about them less. The technical side of things, I just... So what were we getting to as your first?
The first thing that pulled me into the movies. That's a big part of what I do. I write about them every week. So Gangs of New York is what catapulted me into being a movie person.
And I'll tell you what catapulted me into, I would just watch movies like everyone else. I would watch whatever was popular, I'd watch that. But then I started to hit this phase where I started like movies that were a little different. Documentary, maybe more, you have to think a little bit harder and not be entertained. And I can tell you that first movie, it was a movie called Kids. Do you know the movie?
Know it, never seen it.
It's about these kids, and it's just talking about their life, and Rosario Dawson is in the movie, and they're vulgar, and they're awful. I mean, terrible. But I think that movie is what started me on the path of going, okay, you know what? Movies can be something other than Indiana Jones or James Bond.
What age were you, roughly?
I think I was probably 17. And that came out at the same time that, Clerks came out. And those movies made me see movies in a different way. There's something out there other than these blockbuster movies that I've seen my whole life. Because that's what I grew up on, were blockbuster movies. I'm not even sure that they made those type of movies before that.
I'd argue they did. They just weren't as popular. There wasn't really a market for it.
I'm trying to think, are there any movies like that, that were kind of like these outsider movies?
I think you'd have to get into some foreign films to get something along those lines.
Right. So Rambo 2?
Pretty much.
Expendable Rambo?
This is something I wish I had more time for, but I really only have time to watch a movie once. And with Netflix and streaming, you don't get this option. Watching the commentary. Gosh, I love doing that. I just don't have the time, and I don't even really have the availability. I remember watching...
The commentary is where they speak over the movie.
Yeah, like the director.
Yeah, I like that too.
I love insight like that. They break apart the movie, because anything I do, I want to know how it works. Like movies, it's not enough for me to watch it and be entertained. How did they do this? How does this work?
Well, see, I'm more of a, how did you get this part of the story? And I love those when the director or the writer, they talk about, oh, I got that because my friend, that's him. This is who this is based on, and he had an experience. That's what I like.
Really sticks out in my mind is Big Trouble in Little China, Donnie Darko, which when that movie came out, I loved it. Again, that was unlike anything I had seen. Fight Club, it's all insight in the movie is breaking it down, how it works, how they did what they did. But unfortunately now, you really, unless you buy a disc, you don't get that.
Well, you don't even get it all the time, even when you buy the disc. If you go to Walmart and buy the DVD out of the bin, it's just a DVD.
Oh, really?
You have to get the $20 version to get the commentary and all that. I care about the commentary. I don't care that much.
Buy a disc. But now, what's the point? It's on Netflix.
I really wasn't watching them over and over and over again. So I've got this collection of VHS tapes.
My DVD collection, I would rewatch it before Netflix. Now, it's, well, why am I going to watch Ghostbusters when I've seen it a bunch of times, or I can watch this movie I've never seen? It's kind of, I have a limited amount of time, and I'm going to spend it on something I haven't seen. But yeah, I would love that infinite amount of time and go through my DVDs and check out the director commentary, because the ones I've done it on, it's great.
You know what this leads us to?
What does this lead us to?
This leads us to the movies you watched this week.
Movies I watched this week? Excellent question. I watched a lot this week. I was trying to figure out what I did this week, because I know I was busy.
Apparently, you didn't do anything other than watch movies. I got the blog, but I did not read through your blog yet. So.
I got it out a little late this week.
Well, you are doing 80% of the work here, so...
Let me just point out, how many episodes did you edit over the weekend? I did 3.
Do you really want me editing the episodes?
Probably not. Yeah. And I will say, as an aside, I put these up on YouTube, and it kind of started where I'd put...
Oh, you put them on YouTube?
Yeah.
Just the audio?
Well, it started out, I put our logo, and I put the audio. That was the first episode.
Right.
Then I would kind of change the picture to try and mirror what we were talking about.
Right.
Now, I've got this new rollout to where I have a sidebar, and I kind of catalog the main plot points to where you can click, and it'll take you to the main plot points. In the video, you can actually click on the video, and it'll take you to that point in the video.
Why don't we video it?
Because you said you don't like to be videoed.
I don't like to be videoed, but as long as we're videoing from the left, I'm good. I'm all right. So if you want to video it...
It adds another degree of difficulty, because that's video I have to edit, and I have to be careful about which faces I'm making while we're filming.
Why?
I'm very peculiar about how I look on video.
Oh, gosh. You are a sensitive little Sally, aren't you?
I am.
I'm very peculiar about how I look on video.
No,
Those are words I never thought you would say.
Well, whenever I'm in any of my videos, I've put thought into the angles and what I look like. I don't want to be caught on video unscripted, on the fly. I don't like that.
All right, so don't blame it on me then.
Well, it was.
Blame it on your vanity. It was because you never said, I'm really vain, and I don't want to
well, because I
don't want to make an ugly face on video.
I didn't need to, because you said you didn't want to be on video. I was like, perfect, that's my ticket.
Oh my gosh, I'm on your blog right now, looking at what you watched this week.
Miami Vice.
The first question that comes to mind is, why?
Couple of reasons. First,
Colin Farrell's hot.
I like Colin Farrell. I like Jamie Foxx.
I like Jamie Foxx.
There's certain directors, certain artists, certain actors, they get a pass. They do one awesome movie, you get a pass. Michael Mann did Heat. Anybody involved in Heat, I'm going to check out what you do. Heat was an amazing movie. Miami Vice, I watched it soon after it came out, and I thought it was just okay. I watched it this time, I liked it a lot more. Because it always comes up in Michael Mann discussions as, well, it's underrated. It's not as bad as everybody thought. Is it a good action movie? Sure. It's much better than the average action movie. I think what hurt it was, why would you call it Miami Vice? It's not Miami Vice.
Well, were they called Crockett and Tubbs?
They were. They drove a Ferrari that they showed for 2 seconds. They're called Crockett and Tubbs, and the movie's title was Miami Vice. That's the extent of the link. I mean, you could have named it anything. It's a very tenuous link.
If you call it anything, people go and watch it. Miami Vice, I think Miami Vice pulls some weight.
I agree, but when you make a movie that it's only linked to Miami Vice, is calling it Miami Vice, you're doing people a disservice.
Well, were they in Miami?
They may have been.
I would hope so. Were there drugs involved?
There were drugs involved.
So it's linked in a lot of ways. There was a Ferrari.
You could argue that for Bad Boys. You know, when that in Florida they drove a Porsche, true. So that one doesn't hold as much weight.
And you know, that's funny. As I was thinking Bad Boys as you were talking about this movie.
This movie's really good. What kind of brought it down? Look at the movie Heat. The characters are well developed. You kind of get why they're doing what they're doing, and they have great chemistry. Jamie Foxx and Colin Farrell, if I didn't know better, I would wonder if they hated each other. They just didn't have any chemistry.
Maybe they do hate each other.
The characters weren't developed. Colin Farrell has a mullet-type 80s/Texan thing that I don't understand why his hair looked like that.
Well, maybe they didn't develop the characters because they expect you to know them kind of already.
Any movie that is going to hang its hat on something other work that I have to watch.
From 30 years ago.
Yeah. I judge your movie based on this movie. Like, I strongly dislike some of these Lord of the Rings trilogies because, well, if you want to watch this movie, you need to watch these other two. No, we don't play that game. If you want me to enjoy your movie, it stands alone. Otherwise, don't waste my time. So as action movie goes, this is really good. Not only would I say rent it, I would say buy it. It's that good.
No.
Good movie. Good action movie.
You just said buy a Colin Farrell movie. In Bruges. Yes, that's the one you should buy.
My top movie of all time shifts, but In Bruges I really like.
Yeah, I was going to say top movie of all time. So what's the next movie?
Black Hat came out this year by Michael Mann. He was the director. Black Hat is terrible. Not like kind of terrible.
Period, move on.
I mean, there's just so many things wrong about it. The problem is, it's a terrible script. There's nothing more to say. It's not very well written. There's tons of problems with it. Chris Hemsworth, Thor, plays a hacker, which he comes across a dead body. I would think somebody that's not used to that would, have some problem. And he's like, oh yeah, drug overdose. Okay, let's keep moving.
Well, clearly they just put this guy in the movie. Okay, we're going to put Thor in it. People are going to go see it.
That's pretty much it. And I looked at who wrote it just because I was like, this is not well written. What's this guy done? And before this, the guy was an assistant editor.
Well, you got to start somewhere.
And not to say that people can't go from there to make something good, but it's not well written. Michael Mann obviously is just taking whatever he can get at this point. Yeah. Mann did he did Collateral, Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx.
Right.
Good movie. I also watched, continuing my Avengers theme, The Judge with Robert Downey Jr. It's another movie that I was expecting a lot more from it. This is pretty much all you need to know. In the first 5 minutes...
Oh, no, I saw the movie.
Iron Man pees on somebody.
Right now. Yeah, I saw the movie. I watched probably the first 5 minutes.
5 minutes too much.
I couldn't. I don't know how you watched the whole movie. Awful, Robert. How do you assemble this cast and mess this up?
Well, you tell Robert Downey Jr. to, hey, play the same character you always play, that annoying, arrogant person. That's what we want. Hey, Robert Duvall, you're old and cantankerous. Perfect. Don't change a thing.
But Robert Duvall's not always cantankerous in everything he's in, and that's what they tried to do here. I didn't think any of the characters fit the actors at all. Even though they were trying to pigeonhole them as the characters they play, maybe it was just the writing that went along with it.
It's like the actors were trying to play caricatures of themselves.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I was expecting a courtroom drama. This is not it. Very little time in the courtroom. I was expecting A Time to Kill. Neat movie. This is not it.
At the extreme least, expecting A Few Good Men.
No.
Yeah, no.
And the humor just felt out of place. It failed in a lot of ways. So skip that one.
So that is one that I saw. Okay, moving on.
Leviathan. It is a Russian, or at least a foreign film. It's gotten a lot of really good reviews. It's good. I talk about how poorly written everything else is. This is very well written, but it's really long. It's hard for me to say this is such a great movie, but you should skip it because it's just so long, and the fact that it's foreign, I don't think the average person is going to get anything out of it. But it's a very well-written movie. It's got a great story. Ice Age: The Meltdown.
Is this the first, second, or third?
This is the second. I like the first one. It's been so long since I've seen it, I can't tell you why at this point.
Well, all those movies are clever and kind of funny, and I think it was the second one that kind of fell. Yeah. Because I think we've seen all three. But I think it was the second one that is the least memorable out of the three.
Yeah, it's one of those things. If you've seen any Ice Age movie or any other Ice Age movie, you don't need to see this one. There's just nothing.
So what you're saying, it suffers from the sophomore slump?
Pretty much. Then my son, you have the crazy squirrel who's trying to get that acorn. My son loved that part.
Who doesn't love that part?
Yeah, that was good. Another one that I started watching before I was into movies, and so I didn't really get that far into it. Best in Show. I don't know if it's the first documentary, but I know it's one of the earlier versions. Good. I watched a couple weeks ago Maps to the Stars. I don't even know who directed it. I often find that when I watch one movie, it relates directly to a movie I've seen recently. And so if you look at Best in Show as a satire, and you look at Map to the Stars as a satire, Best in Show is funny because it takes things people know and makes a joke about it.
Right.
Maps to the Stars fails because it's trying to satirize Hollywood, but it's taking jokes that nobody knows and they're just not funny. That movie, please don't go see.
So, Best in Show. Are you familiar with this group, this cast at all?
I know some of them, yes.
This is like the third in a set of movies where it pretty much has the same cast. Have you ever seen This Is Spinal Tap?
Yes.
That's an older one. Okay. A Mighty Wind?
No.
Waiting for Guffman?
No.
For Your Consideration?
No.
These are all movies that are all kind of connected. You don't have to watch one to get the other, but it's the same group of people. It's very Second City-ish. I can't think of the guy's name off the top of my head. The guy with the eyebrows.
Eugene Levy?
Yeah, it's always him. Christopher Guest. The woman from Home Alone. Can't think of her name.
Marie McCormick. It's always this group. And that's what they all are. They're all mockumentaries. A Mighty Wind is these people who play in like folk bands. So they've gone, from being dog breeders to being in a folk band. Their style is in all of those movies. They're very good as a group. I did see Spinal Tap, and that was
This is Spinal Tap. That's a good one. It's the same group.
Those are the movies for the week.
Man, you did watch a lot of movies this week.
I don't
find
know
the time to watch these movies. What are you up at, like 2 a.m. watching movies?
1 a.m.
Does Jennifer ever watch these with you?
Rarely.
I think you should include her in there. You're writing what my wife thought.
Every time I watch a movie, I'm saying, hey, do you want to watch this? She's like, nope.
I don't blame her. A lot of those movies, I'm like, no, I wouldn't watch that.
I think the last movie she watched with me might have been one of the Hobbit movies.
I can't seem to put on the second one. I've got it.
I'm not missing much.
No, and that's what everyone keeps saying, and I think I'm just going to skip it. The first one was okay. The problem is nobody dies. We just had a 3-hour movie where you've gone through all these worlds and not one of you has died. You've all miraculously made it. And what is Gandalf's purpose? If he's a wizard and he can stop things, why doesn't he just shift them all there? Why is this 3 hours long?
Gandalf is actually a madman. He's in his lair cackling, watch these dwarves perish.
Man, I think I'm done. The only thing that maybe bring me back is Martin Freeman.
You should do something constructive with your time, like watch Miami Vice.
Oh, that's definitely never going to happen.
But you're not really into action movies, are you?
No.
Die Hard?
We didn't watch too many artsy things.
Artsy films? Die Hard's an artsy film?
No.
We don't watch those artsy films like Die Hard.
Watch the blockbusters. We didn't watch anything artsy is what I'm saying. So yes, I saw all the Die Hards. Guess that brings us to our top 3. Top 3 best movie endings.
Fight Club's definitely up there. The Usual Suspects. The thing is, that ending almost makes the rest of the movie better. Verbal Kint, Kaiser Sose, Kevin Spacey, they're all the same man. Who would have thought? Raiders of the Lost Ark.
You putting that as your third? Raiders? Did you steal from my list?
It's hard not to. Raiders was such a good ending, though. I mean, even as a kid, that's a good ending.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I don't know. I consider Godfather. I consider 2001. Number 3, I would say Raiders, but if you're going to take it, as long as it's mentioned, I'm happy, so I'll put Godfather.
I'm going to go, in no particular order, I'm going Arlington Road, bad guy wins, love that. Roman Holiday, I'm going to go with that. And Raiders.
Raiders was good. Raiders. I mean, Raiders, even as a kid, when I saw it, I was like, that's good ending.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
That really is top 10 all time.
I agree.
I'm Eric. And I'm Ward. Our website, fridaysonthefly.com, is going to link you to every other site we're on, which is iTunes, Stitcher, Facebook, Google+, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, maybe other things. It's hard to tell.